Next up for repair is a Pioneer TX-606 stereo tuner. I think this is from around 1979, around there. Supposedly this thing didn't work at all, but I just hooked up an antenna, and it's actually the reception is actually fine, and the output coming out of the jacks in the back is okay. The only thing I noticed was there is a bulb out on one of the meters here. So I turned on the light so to actually see what's going on here with the bulbs. You can see here the dial indicator bulb that is working, thank God. And one of these here bulbs is out. The bulb in the signal strength meter is out. Otherwise, this unit is working perfectly fine. I'm glad to have a unit where I don't have to do too much to it. Here we can take a look at the inside. Here's of course, a power transformer right here on the left, and that's all there is this main board here. Tuning capacitor. This thing has actually three integrated chips. That's why this is all there is to it. I think there's a IF chip here, a FMIF chip, and then there's the FM, the stereo decoder chip, and over here this is the here's a chip in this section for AM. Not too many not too many parts in general, and that's kind of just the way I like it. So now the unit is out again. I need to figure out how to get the bulbs out. I think, okay, I'm going to have to come from the front. I think I got to take the face plate off here, and there's just a couple of screws on the top and probably some on the bottom, and of course this here has to come off. Well, didn't exactly come off the way I wanted it to. This is glued in, so I'm going to have to re-glue it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get 2 spoons and pull this off. Here you can see me trying to get this tuning knob off, which really is putting up a big battle, man. Still not coming off. Looks like I'm going to have to get the... Oh, there it goes. Of course, I forgot to pull these covers off of these switches. I guess that's one reason why it's not coming out, why the faceplate isn't coming off. I removed 4 screws, 2 Phillips screws on the top and 2 on the bottom. So this is it. I tried to do as least work as possible, but in this case I think I have to pull this plate off, and also gives me opportunity to clean up the glass here. I just put that to the side and make sure it doesn't drop. It's this bulb in here. Okay. Looks like it's this plastic cover here is just what? Taped in. Yep. Okay, here is the problem. The problem is that there's no bulb in here. And this actually thing, I was wondering why this, somebody must have been messing with this, because here the cover here is starting to come right off, and I think it pushes out through the back. Yeah, there's like some silver tape. Looks like somebody tore that up. And in order to get all of this off, there's clear tape. I'm just gonna take that off and then see if I can't get the bulb like that. So this is just held together by clear Scotch tape, evidently. I am going to try to take this off in one piece here, and then probably put another piece of tape over it. Looks like the silver paper here is still intact, so which means now this tape might now hold when I put it back on. So let me see what's up. Okay, here it goes. And now we can get to this thing. And I looked, I went on and I looked up. These bulbs here are actually 8 volts. I think they're around 55 milliampere. And in order to get one of these, man, they're pretty expensive. They're a couple dollars. These things are a couple dollars each. So I might have to use a different kind of bulb, or just go ahead and suck it up and then order one of these things. So I don't exactly have these bulbs, nor do I think I'm going to order them. I think I found them online, but then you got to order like a pack of them. I think what I'm going to do is take a little wheat bulb like this, and this is 8 volts, 40 milliamperes, and I am going to solder it in right there exactly to be right in the middle. And I already applied power to it, and it doesn't really get hot at all. It just gets a little bit warm. I guess it's because, well, it's, again, this one's 8 volts, 40 milliamperes, and the original is supposed to be 8 volts, I think 50 or 55 milliampere. So it's not going to be as bright. But again, I don't want to order these. There's going to be a difference in brightness, I think. I have another one of these wheat little bulbs laying around. I might just solder another one in there. Then both bulbs will exactly have equal brightness. Yeah, this is a improvisation, of course. I wish I would have had the original bulbs on hand, and I really don't want to order them. Who knows if I'm ever going to get another Pioneer like this. I mean, hell, might take 10 years or something. So this is the makeshift solution. I'll go with that. So I got the bulb soldered in now. You can see that actually the old one is brighter than the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get another little wee bulb, another label, and go ahead and solder that across here. Again, like I said, this is not, it's not at all getting, it doesn't at all really get warm. And of course I'm making sure it's not touching anything in here, except for the actual shielded wire coming from the lamp is actually touching the lamp on this one side, because I had to crimp the wire. I had to fold it over, but it doesn't really get hot. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same to this side, since this bulb's probably been here in ages too. It might go out tomorrow for. See if I can't show that better here, what it makes a difference. It's brighter, and the light might be a little bit different too. I think the ones I found online, they were like bulbs. They were the long axial type. They were 9 volts and 50 milliamperes. But since this is not a 9-volt circuit, an 8-volt circuit, it's not gonna, the lamp is not gonna light up all the way anyway. So let's take a look here. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but once I get the same one in here, then both will be looking the same. The original bulbs, you can't find them anymore, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this thing here. This is a pretty, basically a El Cheapo tuner. It sounds okay, but I think there's probably better out there. And to put this thing back together, I just ended up putting a new piece of Scotch tape over. And I'd say basically that's about it. And to put this thing back together again, here a signal strength meter, I just ended up putting a new piece of a slightly larger piece of Scotch tape over here, since the old tape, once I took it off, it didn't hold very long. I think I probably could have maybe cut it off, but this way was easier. It really peeled off pretty easily. And here's the completed job. You can see that both lights now, both of the meter lights here are now the same. One is not different than the other. Before, I still had the old axial bulb in there on one side, and it's a little tad bit dimmer, but you really don't notice it. I didn't want to order those axial, the longish bulbs, because they're a lot more expensive, and I had these laying around here. I mean, these are just as good. You know, you really can't tell unless you'd actually basically take the faceplate off, and it actually turned out okay. Again, the bulbs I put in are 8 volts 40 milliamperes, and the originals are 8 volts 55 milliamperes. So these work just fine. And here you can see the actual original bulb here. This is how they look. Has some kind of seems like they have some kind of a plastic covering. It looks bluish, but when you actually turn it on, it's actually white. I would venture to say you probably can't get these anymore. I think they sell something like this, but they don't have the plastic. They just have the glass. The ones I put in, they don't get hot anyway. So what I'm going to do with this one is keep it. Although bulbs don't last forever, of course. I might just have another cheap unit that's missing one of these, and then I can go ahead and put this one in there.